Hey there everyone, my name is Orion, I am an RTA bot, and today I will be running Jumping Flash 2 for you. We just looped into the attract mode, so we'll need just a moment here to get back out of that. But yeah, as soon as you are all ready, I can get started, and we can start beating the game.
Absolutely. We are ready on time, so whenever you are, you can just go count down, or I can count you down if you prefer.
Sure, I'll go with the countdown here, so we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Uh-oh. I thought I had my alerts turned off, but I didn't, so I apologize for that. Want me to turn that off and we can do another countdown?
Sure.
Alright, sorry about that.
I mean, it's part of your programming anyways, you know, it's just sort of built in. It's hard to remove that sort of firmware, but...
Yep, yeah, my API calls, I forgot to get those disabled, so give me just a moment with that. Let's see here. I'm actually gonna cut my stream. Okay, got those API calls disabled there now, so we won't be hearing any alerts this time around. So...
We're happy to start again, don't worry.
Yeah, let's do that in 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so Jumping Flash 2. This series is honestly the most, bizarre PlayStation game that you'll ever see. And there's not a lot of rhyme and reason to the levels, the enemies, or anything. And it is just a first-person 3D platformer that is just a bizarre but fun journey. So the goal of this game here is to grab each of these moo-moos here. There's 4 of them in each level. And once we do that, to land on the exit pad so we can continue on with the game. So, I'm already 3 in on the first level here. Got the last one. And the exit is right on this beautiful island. And now we are moving on to 1-2. And yeah, this game is beautiful in the sense that everything about it, you can generally stand on it in some way, shape, or form. So I'm on the little bank there, it looks like, this big whale. And let's do a leap of faith over to this golf hole. And now we're back on these beautiful sunny beaches and landing on this turtle right here.
I feel like this is the best way to follow up the Sex Rex Variety Hour.
Yeah, it's definitely got the same energy, but not nearly as on brand with Sex Rex's games. And so now we are running over to this little platform here, and then there's this little launch pad right here I can use to bring myself all the way to the exit. So one of the beautiful... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, so how hard would you say is lining up yourself in this game? Because there's a lot of times when you have to reorientate the camera and like land in very precise spots, so...
Yeah, and honestly, it's a mixture of difficult and not at the same time. Basically, if you position yourself just right for some of the jumps, you should have no problem just getting through the levels. The first two stages generally are pretty repeatable and pretty easy to do, but these boss fights, they're actually pretty random. There's some manipulation you can do to the boss's AI, but ultimately, like this fight here, sometimes you just get really bad cycles that you have to deal with here, so this is the only random part of the run, but it is a necessary part of it, and they're still fun in their own way too. Alright, so we're going to skip a little cutscene here and move right into World 2. And at the beginning of every world, with the exception of the last world, I need to actually do try again immediately here. And what that does is it actually gives me another bomb to use for the boss fight at the end of this world here. So, due to that, the route for this game is actually pretty tight as far as lives go, because you end up the run on your last life, so... Definitely going to do what I can to play as safely as possible, while still doing some pretty crazy platforming here. But so far so good, and not expecting any big issues here. So over the span of talking about that, I've already gotten all 4 of the Moo-Moos here, and we are exiting Stage 2-1 here.
There's something distinctly PS1 about this game. This is what I explained when I was trying to say we need this game. I was like, if I had to describe this game in one term, it's PS1.
Exactly.
It's very PS1. That's how I sold it, and it worked.
And that's so true, too. Like, the PlayStation has some really distinct games that really define the feel of the PlayStation, and I would say that Jumping Flash is one of the prime examples of that as a series. So, this level is just an indoor maze that I need to navigate. There's really not much to say here. So if there's any plugs you need to make or any donations you need to read, feel free to do so.
Absolutely. Well, we don't have any more donations currently coming in. Please make sure to get some donations. And I would like to talk about the charity that we're supporting here at Midval Speedball, and that is the White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf. They have served as a critical resource for families experiencing food insecurity since 1977, providing food and support to over 1,200 families each month. They work toward eliminating barriers that limit access to healthy food for families living on a low or fixed income. The vision is to end food insecurity in the White Bear area, though their programs are open to anybody in need of food, regardless of geographic boundaries. It's quite interesting because this is one of the first times Midwest Speedfest, as an organization, has really supported a very local cause, and we're very proud to actually be helping people, and especially in the time of need that we have now more than ever. So please make sure to get your donations in. It's for a really good cause, and it's going to help benefit a lot of people during these recent tough times.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely a great cause to support during these times. And hey, good timing on the plug. Oh, that almost felt pretty well rehearsed to get through the entire level there.
No. I was like, I'm speaking too fast.
Alright, so now we are on to another boss fight, and this one should be pretty quick here. So there's this big samurai-looking guy, and the goal is to shoot his belly button as much as possible. And definitely had a bit of bad luck with him walking away dang near immediately there. But if I keep shooting and keep bouncing, he goes away just like that.
So is there a plot to this game?
You know, I'm sure there is, but I think it escapes most Jumping Flash runners, to be completely honest. Alright, so we are on to World 3-1, and we will start the level, just like the previous first level, with a try again. So now I have a bomb to use in the boss fight, and we're just gonna do some death-defying platforming on this level to get to all of the Moo-Moos. This level's definitely one of the crazier ones as far as the route looks, because for example, I'm gonna jump on this house here, jump on this little tree that's just jutting out of the side of this tall building, hit those rocks that are just floating, and make my way all the way to the top of this tower here. This is definitely a more vertically oriented level with that main little tower there. And of course, what is World 3 without across the stage jumps here? Alright, cool. So I made it to this last Moo-Moo, not a problem. And now, time to hit that exit.
So there's a score in this game. Does it have any purpose?
I think you can score attack this game if you like, but it also generates extra lives for you, and that's actually accounted for in the run as well, with all of the death abuse we do at the beginning of each world. So yeah, without that extra life I just got, it would be a little slower to get through the last part of the game. Alright, so we're trotting the world yet again here. Basically, we're starting on this side of the stage, and now we're just going to be making our way all the way to the opposite side. Yeah, the Moo-Moo placement is a little funky in this level. Yeah, I think they want you to do a little bit of exploring by playing this level naturally here, but since I can jump really high and just work my way through everything here, I can trivialize a lot of the sightseeing that the game expects you to do. And this right here is a really tight jump. You have to line it up before you make the commitment, otherwise you'll just fall. So luckily I got that taken care of pretty well. And now, let's exit the level.
So
yeah, there's a little enemy that's sitting in the middle of this platform too, so you do want to land just on the side, which I was able to do there. And sorry, Focus, you can go ahead.
No worries. I was gonna ask, how would you say this game controls to someone who hasn't seen this game? Because if I remember, the game has an interesting control scheme.
It is interesting to say the least. It's not as intuitive as some would expect it to be, but if you're used to it, it's actually fairly comfortable as well in its own right. So yeah, what I'm gonna do here is use my first item to get this boss to start regenerating its health. And now I've saved these last two items to burst this boss down as quickly as I can here. So let's get back on top. Throw down all of my weapons here, and yeah, that's a quick and easy fight. Yep, so now we're just going to be skipping cutscenes and getting the next world loaded up and ready, so if you have any more plugs or donations, by all means feel free to take some time here.
Happily. We do have some upcoming goals that I'd like to mention yet again. If you like games like this, which are sort of out there in a beautiful way, we have a run from Talcare's coming up with Mikazu. And there are two incentives there that still have yet to be met. There's the Play Dillo Inferno bonus stage, sitting currently at $0.75, and there is Vibe with the Universe, which is possibly the best 4 words for any incentive I've ever heard ever. Currently sitting at 31 of $90. So make sure to get your donations in so we can hit that. I'm very excited for. This is sort of the weird morning block, and I like it. It's fun. It's fun.
Absolutely, and I am super stoked to be able to represent during it too. Jumping Flash is so weird, but in such a charming and fun way too. So I've already done quite a bit of platforming throughout this level here, getting all of these moo-moos here, and now I'm basically just going to be wrapping up by grabbing the final one and another item that I will be using for the boss fight that's coming up at the end here. So that mosquito is a bit of a jerk. A lot of the enemy movement is pretty random as well, so you just kind of need to adjust as you go along, but no big deal. We hit the end, and it's time to move on to the next level. Alright, so stage 4-2, this is another indoor level, and there's really not much to say about what's going on in this level, so feel free to plug away again, Focus.
I actually want to just, since we don't have really much to plug away that I've already not mentioned, I actually just want to talk with you a little bit about the game. So, how would you recommend people who are interested in maybe running or playing this game, how do you recommend they go about it? If you have any sort of tips or suggestions or things to start with in the run, that would be really good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And luckily, the game itself is pretty straightforward. The route is, there's not a lot of variance to it because ultimately, it's all the same for the first 2 levels. The only real thing that really takes a bit of studying is boss behavior and just trying to manipulate that. So basically, my best recommendation would be is to just crack open the world record of this game that is currently held by Joester. Whoops, these piranhas are stuffing my jumps a little bit here. So yeah, crack open that world record by Joester, study the movement in the first 2 levels for each world, and then for the boss fights, there are some strategies that aren't immediately apparent when watching that. So by all means, if there are any questions, there is actually a Jumping Flash Discord that you can hop into if you have any questions as well.
Was that a pun? Was that intentional? Was that jump into? Was that intended?
Maybe not.
I'll keep notes.
I will neither confirm or deny.
Is there also a reason why you, would you say there really is many differences between the first Jumping Flash game and this one? Because the first Jumping Flash game, as we were saying, is a PS1 classic. It was, if I remember correctly, a launch title. So.
Yes, that is correct. And as far as the 2 games go, really it's just a difference in the levels themselves. They control very similarly, they play very similarly. Yeah, the only real difference is the levels, and I think there are some minor differences in just the control of the Rabbit, which is this beautiful bunny mech that I am trapping around here. Yeah, if there's someone from the Jumping Flash community that is in the chat here, if there's further explanation needed, I would definitely love some lifting on that regard, because not 100% sure myself. So, we are at this boss fight, and I'm just going to wait for it to attack me here just like that, just to try to manipulate the boss's behavior as much as I can here. Because this boss has a pattern where it'll go on the ceiling, like this, where the only way I can deal with it is if I aim and shoot at it, so I'm gonna just need to tank these hits and continue bursting them down with my shot here. And that's that for that boss fight. So yeah, with each individual world, there is an overarching theme to each stage, and just the design and aesthetic of all of it. And so we've gone through a more beach-oriented, a more Japanese-oriented, a more industrial-oriented, and a more, I guess, Greek-oriented, or something of that sort. And then now It's time to throw on our clown shoes, because we are in the clown world.
Oh no. I should have been warned about this beforehand. Not clown worlds. Not clown worlds.
So yeah, luckily it's all whimsical fun. There's no really scary clowns until maybe the end. But yeah, same as before, we're just grabbing all these moo-moos and doing some crazy platforming here. These little rails are pretty fun in just giving you a little more flexibility in the earlier parts of the stage. And shoot, I did not want that power-up, but that is not a huge issue. Yeah, the item routing for this level basically requires, or this entire world, excuse me, is centralized around getting everything in the second stage, so that is a good item to have, and is something I do pick up in the second stage, so I'm going to try to adjust a little bit here. Alright, so 5-2 probably has the coolest song in the game, in my humble opinion. It's pretty fun, and we start with a little cannonball shot off to the top of the level. So this jump right here is a pretty rough one. You gotta be pretty careful about that. And if you make any mistakes, you're looking at pretty much needing to climb your way all the way back up, so definitely a difficult one, but not too bad. And let's see, I'm gonna actually grab this. So the item route now is going to be a little different thanks to picking up that item in stage 1, but that shouldn't affect too much here. Alright, Moo Moo. I know I'm a little late getting to you. There we go. So now we're just going to make our way towards the final part of the stage. And another cool thing to note about this game too is that the stage is just completely wide open, and you can explore it to your heart's content if you choose to do so. Since I am speedrunning this game here, I'm not spending a lot of time checking things out, but there's a lot to see if you take the time to do so. Alright, so now we are on 5-3, and this boss fight's pretty funky. Speaking of clowns earlier, I was a little misleading. There is actually 2 of them now. But
well, you did say clowns. You did say clowns. It is plural.
That is true. So, yeah, the cool thing about this boss fight is that the clown with the black outfit, this is actually the one that is supposed to exist until all of the life is gone. Oh boy, let me get back on top of you. There we go. So, if you focus on that black-clothed clown there, the red-clothed clown will actually go away around half health and then black at full. So, basically you can just focus fire one boss to take care of both of them. It's a weird little quirk that I think might have just been an artifact of early PlayStation game development and such, but definitely welcome in such a random instance of the game here. So, we are on to the final world, World 6. And just as I have done previously in the other worlds, let's start this level with trying again. So, storing up that bomb for the boss fights coming up here, I'm now going to be doing some pretty precarious platforming to try to grab all of these moo-moos here. So the first 2 are pretty quick. You have to hit that cycle just right to do that as quickly as possible, and that was not good. So let's do this again, and now one of the boss fights is going to have to be significantly longer. Let's go with the first boss fight, because in World 6 there's actually 2 of them. This is the only world that has 2 boss fights, so I'm going to give myself a little more leeway this time. that is not good as well. Shoot. Okay, so I'm going to get a game over here, but luckily I can just continue right from where I left off here. That should give me some more lives to work with as well.
If it would help, I can actually I have a donation to read.
Sure.
This is $5 from Firebird Lover saying, I want to hear Focus speaking quickly again, so please put this donation towards Dance Pad Celeste and feeding people who need help, but do it quickly.
That was beautiful.
I didn't read
Thank
that
you.
before, so I was just hoping my actual pronunciation would be fine. It seemed to work out. Thank you for the $5 so much, Firebird Lover.
Alright, so had some platforming issues there, so I'm going to need to freeform this a little bit. But here's that moo-moo. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of backtracking on these train tracks here. Let's avoid these. And now let's do the death-defying jump again. Okay, there we go. I was lined up much better for that second part of the jump, so there are no issues now. So yeah, I'm going to use this little spiky ball here as my little bridge for this gap. And let's make our way to the opposite side of the level now.
I like how even in the final level, the game throws things at me and I'm like, wait, why is there a plate with a fork and a knife just existing in space? Yep, that's PS1. Very PS1.
Yeah, absolutely. This game is just so charming because it really captures just that old PlayStation style of gaming here. Alright, so this is the last death-defying jump. 6-1 is good. This is probably the most... No, not probably. This is the most difficult stage in the game. So now we're just gonna do 2 more boss fights and we can call it a wrap. So just as a warning... Oh wait, no. Looking at my estimate, we should still be under estimate 2. That is good. I thought it was a little tighter than that, but thankfully not. So now, what I'm going to try to do is manipulate this boss's behavior by trying to jump as high as I can here, and that did not work. So, there's a pattern this boss can do where it does just that right here, actually. So now, I'm just going to work on bouncing on it to take care of it. So not a perfect fight with the luck that I've seen, but, you know, much better than it could have been. What I was trying to avoid was there's actually a pattern where the boss just kind of bounces around this arena here, and that is a pain and a half to deal with. So luckily that was not an issue, and that would have definitely extended my ending time here by quite a bit. And then now for the final boss fight. And as we do at the beginning of every world, we actually do this here at 6-3 as well, so we have an item to use against the boss. So, I'm gonna wait for the boss to start attacking me, and we'll just start pounding away. Alright, so this specific attack takes a while, which is nice early on, not so much later. So, let's see if this will actually get me to the next phase of the fight. Yeah, I still have quite a bit of health to work through. But you see me landing after every attack here, and this is mainly to manipulate the boss into attacking more. It makes him stand still, and is a little easier to deal with due to that.
Oh, there's another donation, by the way. This is directed to you. This is from A Button with $5 saying, good luck with the run, Orion. I didn't want to say after the run, you know?
No, definitely, and thank you very much, A Button, for the donation. Alright, so now we're on phase 2, and I just continue bouncing on what went from mech to little tank enemy here. And I really can't even begin to tell you what this enemy is supposed to be, so I'm just going to do my part in taking care of this enemy as quickly as I can. Alright, so I'm actually getting pretty low on health here, so I'm trying to play it a little safer. There we go. And... oh no! Okay, so... let's do this again.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a rough development there. You know, it's totally a marathon thing to have stuff that doesn't normally happen. And, you know, I can say that's not
Never
a consistency
happened
issue that I've dealt with yet. So, just gonna continue whittling this boss down, and while he's standing here like this, get that bomb on him again. So we should be close to the second phase already here. Getting this pattern here is a little unfortunate, but I think, yeah, we still have a little more health to work with. Okay, now we're back to the tank form. And yeah, there's a lot of damage that you can take in this segment of the fight, so definitely going to be a little more conscientious of just all of the projectiles here. Okay, this is good. I'm going to try to get a bounce on there for just a little more damage. I'm going to play it really safe here. Time is coming up. And time.
Hey! I don't have the time on my end because it's currently going through, but it's definitely underestimate.
That was a 27:36.
Alright, not my best showing of this game, but still did pretty
Well,
well.
underestimate. It was very fun. I'm so glad we took this title. I'm sincerely so thankful.
I'm so happy to offer it. This is definitely one of my games that I feel is just so unique and so fun that it's always fun to show it off when given an opportunity.
Absolutely. Are there any other things you'd like to say at the end of this run to encourage people, or say any shoutouts or things you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I suppose, ultimately, if you have a game you like and you're on the fence about speedrunning or not, all I'm going to say is give it a shot. We all started with just trying to figure it all out, and overall speedrunning, I feel, is something that anyone's capable of doing. You just gotta put in a little bit of time and just have fun doing it. It's just a journey of self-improvement, and I feel that you'll probably feel pretty fulfilled if you give it a try. So yeah, as far as overall plugs, I mean, that's all I really want to say in regards to just speedrunning in general, as well as this game too. And yeah, I had a wonderful time. Thank you very much for having me.
No, thank you so much, Orion. That was really good fun. Make sure to follow Orion. It was extremely enjoyable, and there was, I can't express now. I actually want to pick up this title and play it because it seems like so much fun.
Yeah, and even casually, like, it's a super fun game to just explore and just see, and try to even think and figure out, like, what the heck were they thinking, like, with just all of this level design and just with the aesthetic of the game, because I'm sure that the people that made this game will be the only people that can truly tell you.